Okay, so before anybody starts getting overexcited or carried away or have great expectations, don't forget, 28 quid, 28 pounds. That's all I paid for all of that. Right, well, anyway, morning world, welcome to Thursday, 4th of January, 2024, and a little project. So yeah, the reason I'm doing this is we had that New Holland skid steer on trial for a week, 10 days a while ago, and although I hated the reversing alarm, I actually thought the reversing camera was a good idea. So, went on eBay, 28 quid, and yeah, this is my first attempt at fitting this. So, but I think before we go drilling holes or routing cables and that, we just got to work out where we're going to put stuff. So, what's in this box? This box has got the monitor. Now, I went for a small monitor. This is what they call a 5-inch monitor, and it is small, but it's actually not much smaller than the mirror that's in the cab. So yeah, let's take that with us and that. We'll get in the cab and we'll just see where we can put that. Right, so a few things to consider in here. One of them being is the safety bar. This guy has got an arc between up and down that I cannot change. Can't change it. So I'm thinking of seeing if I can put this over there, because that's kind of where it belongs. So if I can, I think maybe we'll take the mirror off of there, and this comes with a very convenient sticky pad. Remember, 28 quid, that's all I paid for this, which I can either stick on there. Will it go? Maybe. Or is that going to be too exposed to the weather right there? Or maybe I can put it in there. There's not a lot of room to do anything in here. So, or we may have to just find something else. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, this is just experimental for a minute. Or do I put it up there? See, it's not just the safety bar, because somebody actually said, oh, mount it to the safety bar. I would knock that off there in no time. This is a flimsy little plastic thing that it sticks on. It's not going to take a lot of knocking out. If I jump in and out of this cab with a bit of vigor, I'm just going to knock it off. But it's one of those things. I need to kind of have it in my front peripheral vision. No, peripheral's aside. My front vision, so I can actually see what I'm looking at. I wonder if I could mount it over one of those. Sticky pad's not that, or just up there. What if can I turn that round? Not really. But up there would be kind of out of the way. Maybe up there. I need to be able to see these dials. I need to be able to lock up the booms. But there would probably be okay, or maybe even on that side. Maybe that would work. That might do it. It's not right at the front, but it's kind of at the front enough that if something's moving behind me, hopefully it would catch my eye. And it's far enough out the way if I clean that up. I think that might be, up there might be the spot. And that is well away from there. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself, just, you know. Yeah, providing I keep the lid on there, that is well and truly away from the weather. Which means I can keep that mirror. Not that I ever use this mirror. I mean, this is like a token gesture. but from my view here, I can see a little bit over my right shoulder and nothing behind me. All right, so if I take this panel off, that's my fuses, so I can take a feed from there, and I can probably, I have actually ordered a new light to go on the back, so I can probably do that, put that around there. This, I'm going to regret saying this, aren't I? This shouldn't be too difficult. Yes, we've moved. We've come up here. 2 reasons. 1, there's more light outside, and 2, all my tools are in there. I don't want to carry everything up and down, because you know what it'll be. I'll take down a screwdriver and a drill and blah, blah, blah down there. Then I'll have the wrong spanner or the wrong drill, and I'll walk back up, and I'll get it and go back, and I'll still be the wrong one. And then in the end, I'll have half my tools I've carried in over multiple trips from the workshop down to the bottom barn. I might as well bring the machine up here. It's not raining. Makes perfect sense to me. That's 12. Yeah, it was 11. 12 will do it. Right. So these 2 little capped bolts, I know when I pull this down, there's the 2 cables for that light, which I may be able to take power from. Providing they can provide enough poke, but there's lots of other potential live feeds in here that I could take power for the camera and the monitor. Right, so we'll just put you back on there, so we can't lose you. We need to keep this sort of fairly convenient, because obviously when I stick the camera, which is going to go stuck on there, I have to make sure, probably do that last when I put this back, otherwise Sod's Law says I'm going to be 2 or 3 millimeters too far this way with the camera, and the holes won't line up for that. I know that because stuff like that's happened to me before. So, right, that's the spare park switch. That's actually a new switch up there we replaced because we thought that that switch was faulty. It turned out it wasn't that switch at all, it was actually that unit in there. The expensive bit. One of these is 40 quid. That's over 300. But it cured so many things when we replaced that box in there. Basically, when I turn the ignition on, if you watch, all these little lights light up, all different bits and bobs for it, and if I start it, here we are. So basically, I suppose you'd call that the ECU for the machine. Yeah, solid state, all sealed in, resin, whatever else. Loads of money. So, okay, let's take that off. 1, 2. I wonder what you 2 guys there are. Seems to be some spare, I mean that could be, potentially, spare power. I'll have to get me little, sorry where you are, I'll have to get me little multimeter thingy out and just test what that is. But that would be very, 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 very convenient. So we kind of got the inside sussed out. We know where we're going-ish with that. So now we've got to look at the outside, the camera. Now, we could put that, so that cable there comes out through the middle of there. So I have actually ordered a new light to go on here, but we do have a very convenient little hole just there that I can probably get all that through one at a time. And as somebody very rightly commented, this is a FOPS and ROPS cab, falling object protection system and rollover protection system cab, and although drilling another hole in here wouldn't be the end of the world, you kind of avoid it if you can. But yeah, But where do I mount this camera? There's two holes up there as well. I don't think that's... Oh, top of there. I'm kind of airing for up here in a minute. I think what we need to do is plug the camera in before we mount it and just look at it. So, because even that's quite exposed up there, isn't it? But they would all fit through there. Or to bring it over to one side a little bit because there's already a hole there. But is that going to be in the way of that light? Kind of wants to go in the middle, really, doesn't it? Give this a little bit of thought, I think. All right, that's simple enough. So that's the cable for the rear light there. So what's that black one then? That's the earth then. Okay, so identified. Cable for rear light is live is the green, black is the ground. We could put our camera up there and then relocate the light along here and put the light on that side. Because there's already a big hole drilled there. If I can avoid drilling more holes, all the better. So that's 14 millimeters. Okay, that seems to... Thing is, this is an American machine, so I never know if we're going to be in metric or in imperial. And I think I need somebody to hold the fitting on the outside. How can I stop that from turning? I don't know if I can. My arms aren't long enough to reach all the way in there. I might have it. There we go. There we go. So you can come down off and down over there, round there, unplug you from there, come out. This has never been unplugged. Oh. And that's the way it wants to stay. But anyway, I can pull that fitting off the outside now. Yeah, we can definitely put our camera up there. I mean, in a lot of ways it makes sense because all of the wiring will be inside here, and I can probably tuck up the excess around the back of there out the way, and it's just out of the elements. It makes sense. Probably the very best place to put the camera is on the end of the bonnet down there, because I can see just that bit further behind, but it's going to be 10-12 inches difference, but the camera would be a lot more exposed out there to damage. All right, it's only 28 quid, but yeah. Yeah, we're making progress. I might save that bolt. I might be able to use that again. But the cable is, as you can see, frayed and knackered there. He's of no use at all. So I could actually cut that off. Right, that's that. Like I say, we will definitely keep hold of that. Right. With any luck, the lights that I've ordered are basically, I have ordered an LED light to go on the back of here. I'm hoping that I might even be able to use the bracket as well for that. I may or may not, but I can certainly use that there. Now, there is only enough room in that hole for a single cable. The live, so what I'm gonna have to do is the earth on the lights. If they don't earth through the bracket, I might have to just take the earth cable, because I think it's a double cable on the lights. I might have to split that cable, run the live up through this chap, and then pull the earth around and put it on an eye and actually earth it via this. Something else I need to take into consideration is that. Oh, no worries. Plenty of room. I couldn't remember, I don't know why. I thought this went flat against the cab, but it doesn't. So I have got plenty of room to mount this fella up in there. The one small problem I got in a minute is this camera is designed, or the bracket is designed to mount him like that, and I need to mount it like that. And these adjusting screws won't let it go back far enough. So I'm hoping if I take this off of here and turn it round, that'll give me, hoping. Otherwise, plan A won't work. Then I'll have to think of something else. Could I make you on there? Would that do it? It's an option. Just means bringing the cable down outside the cab. It would go down inside there, so I could actually secure it down into here, loop it up. But I want some clips. Probably get some stick-on clips that would hold the cable up tight in there, so yeah. It's another option. Is that a better option? Means I could put lights back up there and the camera on there, where you will quite happily face down. So I find myself thinking about this more and more, and I think I may have come up with option 3, which is I'm going to have to get some conduit, some electrical as in car conduit. But I think what I'm going to do is, rather than mounting the camera up there, or even on there, or even there, because I just think that's just too far back. It does mean drilling a hole, but if I put the camera there, it's protected by most things that are going to fall by the shoulders of the rams at the back. It's not going to hit anything low. It's far enough back from the back of the machine that I'm not going to reverse into anything. Famous last words. And it's just that little bit further forward. I think I'm going to see it a bit further. I reckon I'd see my foot down there from up there, depending on how wide angle the camera is. And then I could either push the cable back underneath and feed it up through a conduit round and up. I don't think I've got any left. I'll have a look. But if I can feed a conduit back up into there and keep all these cables enclosed, I mean this bit here is going to be tucked probably underneath in here. That's that. And if I put that over there like that, and that should just clip in there. Hopefully that's going to cure my problem. So I'm talking to myself again. No one listens to me, no one pays any attention to me. Woe is me. Oh God, they're all at it now. Anyway, I'm pleased to inform myself that this is going to work. Right, well it appears I might have a faulty monitor. I've tried every which way I can to get it to come alive, even plugging it or wiring it directly to the battery, and nothing. So yes, somebody sent me another monitor, so maybe that's what's going to save my bacon. Maybe. Right, maybe I'll have a bit more luck with this. So thank you very much to Jason, I think it's Jason Kershaw, who sent me this. We'll see if the camera from that will mount up and greet the monitor from this. So I'm running behind a bit. It's actually 3 o'clock. I'm not going to get this finished today. I've had visitors. I've had Tim Rugman, our barn builder. He's been in. That looks exactly the same. If anything, it's a tad small. So Tim the barn builder's been in, so we've just been down to look round the buildings down here to see what we can or can't do with that. We do intend, if we can, to cover at least one of the yards this year. Probably going to be, if we do nothing else, it'll be the north yard nearest the house, the one that's so badly ripped up. Replace, put a roof over there and concrete that. So that's the quote I'm looking for. I've also asked him to quote me a second price to do not concrete on the south end, but to put a roof over that as well. And in the meantime, we've got FWAG, the Farming and Wildlife Advisory Group, are looking at seeing if I can get some grant aid for it. So yeah, it's a dear little camera. So what I might do is, what have we got on there? Okay, so that's a slightly different connection to that. So okay, so this is not as quite a simple plug and play thing as I thought it might be. A bit more complicated. So that's that. That'll go into that, and that connects. That's already connected to that. So that means I have to use that camera. That comes apart. That's quite handy to do, but I don't think that's gonna. Right. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll work it out one way or the other. There's 4 pins in that. I've pulled it apart, and now I can't see to put it back together again. You know what? I'm not going to force them together. Right. So that's a complete system in there. But that system won't match with that system that I've already fitted the camera. So far, I'm not doing very well. See, I'd rather keep the 2 systems together. Why is this monitor not working? What am I doing wrong? That is the simplest of wiring diagrams, but it does make enough sense that I haven't done anything wrong. So it does say, maybe it's the screen. Alright, it was only 28 quid. Can't expect an awful lot for 28 quid, but I would like it to work at least a bit. For at least, you know, a day or 2. Would be nice. So I've got to power the camera. So I can't test the circuit because I've lost my circuit tester. It was only a cheap little 12-volt circuit tester, but I cannot find it. So I can't even test what circuits in here are live without the risk of blowing fuses. So all in all, pretty badly organised, to be honest. What should have been a fairly simple, straightforward job is not. Right. What's live and what isn't? That. And that. That's definitely going to be on the earth, so that's not a problem. Nothing. Nada. Not a sausage. So I'm wondering if the screen won't come alive because there's no feed from the camera. So literally what I'm doing, I'm nicking a bit of power from a 15 amp fuse, which I know has got plenty. Where's the other end? There's my earth, which will earth on there in a second. Hang on a second. That's that. So I'll touch that on there as well. So what should happen now? I've got power going to the screen this end. I've got power connected into the battery going that end. I've got the feed coming through. So if I turn this on, something should happen. Aha! There we are. That was the problem. Okay. So that's the view we've got out the back of the machine off that camera. Obviously, you can tip that down a little bit. So yeah, all right. I know where I went wrong now. Okay, and I also know where I can take the power from too. From there. Okay, so I'm not going to finish this today. It's too late. I spent an hour with Tim and Scott, and my neighbours from along the road came along. They had a chat with me as well, and that was another half an hour. So I've lost an hour and a half. Well, at least an hour in it this afternoon. I'm not there, but at least I now know where we are and what I need to do to get this working. So if I aim the camera down a little bit, it does mean I've got the second camera that I can wire up to something else. So I will aim down a bit if I can, like that. That I can close, and we'll just turn that back on again and see if we are where we think we want to be. Okay, so I could put the camera back up a little bit and see going, but that's going to be okay. I reckon we can work with that. Hang on, I'll put it back up again. Oh yeah. It's a fairly narrow field of view, so what I'm probably going to have to do is get someone to come and stand behind me, or I'll have to reverse it to something so I can see what I can see behind me. But it does look like we might succeed. After all, put you back up there. So you have to excuse all this messy wiring. This is just to see how stuff works. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? I mean, the colour is not fantastic, but yeah, that's a lot better than the view I'm getting out of there, which is basically out of there I can just about see that traffic cone up there. So all right, so back on this tomorrow, folks. We'll get this wired in and done up again. Remember, this is 28 quid system, and I think the one that was sent to me, I think he said that was 30 quid. So they're both 28, 30 quid. That one I'm going to put on, I might put that on the lad's truck. This one can go in here because I think the way everything's going to work with the wiring, I'm going to have to work out how to tidy that up out there and get those connectors out of the weather. Have I got any heat shrink? I don't know. Right, anyway, we can do it. This is doable. Right, so I've just jury rigged it for a minute, so I've got it. We're just going to see how close I can get to, I don't know, that dustbin. So it's about the same as me looking at the back window. I can't honestly say I can see any more. Maybe a fraction more on the camera, but I can at least see behind me. I'm sure our insurers and anybody else who was using the machine would prefer to have that in there. So, okay. So they're probably gonna want to bail. Sorry, I got decent shoes on, so we'll have a quick look. Calves I think are okay. They may want one. You guys, they'll last in the morning. Might take a bit of getting used to, but yeah. And when I know where this scale is, I know how close I am to stuff. Mind you saying that, if I can't see it, I know I'm about to hit it. 28 quid. I think it's worth it. We'll finish off fitting this neatly tomorrow. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I took the cable out of the fuse, and one of these guys is powered to the ignition. So spot on. All I got to do is fit these guys into a spade connector, and yeah, the rest of this job should actually be pretty simple. So happy days. How's that?